Whoa, mama. Patrick Wieland does it again. 600 contracts short. Down 132 Gs.
Brother, you need to teach this man how to short.
I guess so, man. I guess so. Welcome back, everybody, to the Coast to Coast Traders Podcast. I'm Johnny Bravo.
And I'm Robbie.
What's up, Robbie? I love that cow suit, bro.
This is my every morning I wake up and trade in this bad boy because, you know, I'm a sensitive California boy and I gotta stay warm.
Is that a full blown onesie or just a hoodie?
No, it's just a hoodie with some outer pockets.
That is utterly amazing.
Yeah. Keeps me warm. But
yeah.
Dude, there's a lot of drama going on.
Oh, for sure, dude. For sure.
It's like it's not stopping with Patrick Wieland.
No, I mean, drama sells. So props to the man. He knows how to stay relevant and how to keep his name, in everybody's minds, and the BDH and all that stuff. But he's having a hell of a time. So let's jump right into this. We kind of missed touching on this last week, right? But that ongoing lawsuit he has with TopStep, he was. I'm gonna show some screenshots here. He is trying to get a TopStep to drop it and just agree to donating lawyer fees to charity.
Yeah, we totally missed this because we recorded our episode last Saturday, and I guess he'd posted this on Friday afternoon. Oh no, that's not the one I was thinking of, but yeah, sorry.
Oh, sorry, this one here, right here. Yep.
Yeah, that's the one. Mm-hmm.
Wrong clip, my bad. We'll get to that next one in a second, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. So like, what do you think about this? Because I don't think anybody wants to see lawyers win, right? Like, you want victory for one party or another, but I mean, the lawyers are always going to win regardless. But this just kind of seems a little spiteful. What do you think?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Like, I don't understand, what he thinks this is going to accomplish, but it almost makes it look like he's
think Michael Patek?
No, I was honestly.
Oh, okay.
I guess I don't know enough about the intricate details. Like, Michael must think that he's got a case he's going to win, and because he's the one doing the suing, right? But also, between this case and everything that's sort of unfolding because of it, with everyone else they're subpoenaing, sending subpoenas to in the next screenshot, it makes it seem like really trying to drown everybody in lawyers' fees, just to be spiteful.
Yeah, and that's like, well, yeah, because go ahead and show the next screen because they're roping in Tradeovate NinjaTrader. My bad.
Yep. And Tradeovate,
futures, and then Market Clubhouse LLC, which is selling Rip's company.
Yeah.
I tried to get confirmation because I saw in the comments of this post that potentially this is Patrick Wieland registering that LLC just to spite selling Rips at some point. So I messaged him asking him if that was true or not. I didn't hear a response, and not that we're like tight or anything. I've messaged him a couple times in the past, but so I'm not positive about that. But then more people are getting roped in on the discovery. So this is just really interesting.
Yeah, it is really interesting. I think obviously I can understand, that whether it's like Ninja clearing a Tradeovate probably to produce, some of Patrick's trading data, right? I don't know how the Market Clubhouse thing fits in my funded futures because obviously Patrick is affiliated with them and trying to understand the information, within the subpoena, right? But
do you think the nature of this discovery is just simply to just sort of like throw Patrick's trading style under the bus?
His trading style?
Yeah, like I don't know what they would gain from these other companies.
I'm not sure
if they're just solely looking at the trades. Like, I don't know.
I think that they just are obviously fishing for as much information as possible to build a case against Patrick, right? And so with this, maybe it is his trading style, maybe it's the fact that he's blown thousands of accounts, or maybe it's just to bring more information into the public light about, in a way, it slanders Patrick, right? Like, if you say, oh, well, look, has my funders futures trading history, he's at 1,000 counts of them. He's at 1,000 counts over here. He's at all these counts with Apex, and he's doing all these different things. Like, he advocates as himself and says that he is the world's best trader, right? But then if you look at the amount of times that he's blown up, like, how could that statement possibly be true? You know? And so while it's maybe not pertinent exactly to the case, it is then factual information that's just being put out there, which could potentially detract from maybe just his earning potential or whatever, as indirectly, right? But like, and once it's out there, like, you can't draw that back. You can't take that back, and other people will know. I just don't think people really care. He's openly said he's blown a lot of accounts, and if you look at the trading style, which we're going to cover in a few minutes, it's no wonder he's blown a lot of accounts. You know?
Oh yeah, but I think they missed a big one too. Tradeovate, right? Because I mean, he was on their leaderboards for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and he was sponsored by them for quite a while. And so I'm just maybe they're not reaching deep enough, or so like, why these guys but not Tradeovate?
I don't know.
Why not? Yeah. So.
And then with speaking of Tradeovate, right? They're doing their Grand Cup thing that starts, Sunday night when the market opens on the 2nd. But Patrick is apparently banned or not allowed to compete, and just wants to compete, for the contest with no drama. But he's not allowed to do that. So, he's. Unfortunately, Patrick has burned some bridges along the way. And I don't know that it's really in his best favor. And not only, speaking of like burning bridges, it's just within the absolute trading space, you now have people who are jumping on the bandwagon, offering to donate money to TopStep, which doesn't need it, but donate money to TopStep in order to help pay for the legal fees that they are going to incur by suing Patrick, right? Like, most notably, Lance B, like the one Lance B, the same Lance B that Patrick has called out as being a fraud, because he doesn't believe that Lance B has actually earned over $100 million trading. So,
yeah, I thought that was interesting about the Tradeovate ban. I didn't know that he was banned, actually, and I guess I assume he just found out himself, obviously, because I actually saw the post on Friday, I want to say, after he shared some big losses, and he mentioned that he was going to try to make that million. And I couldn't find the post, so I don't know if he deleted it after he realized he got banned or what. But or maybe I just just didn't look hard enough.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not sure either. I haven't seen that one. But you're talking about this one, right? The when he made this post, full transparency, trying to take a screenshot of all the evals he blew. This thing goes on. This is crazy.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, my screen's not big enough to show all the accounts, so otherwise I would have shown more.
Yep. And this is the best comment of the whole thing, is the real downside to this is it takes so much time to re-up 40 evals with Apex.
Yeah, that is funny, because it's not like the other guys where you can just literally click the button and you're set within just a few seconds.
Right. That's you got to click agree, then you got to type in the discount code, then you got to make sure your credit cards, and you got to type in the 3-digit code, and yada yada yada. It just takes. So
it's harder to tilt on Apex.
In a way.
So in a way, their Apex is actually looking out for you by making it more difficult to buy these accounts.
Maybe so. Maybe so. But either way, I mean, he's burning money on these Apex accounts, right? So, and I know he gets a lot through affiliate commissions, so he's not really burning a lot of his own money, but he's burning money here. And then he, wants to donate $100,000 to a charity of Michael Patek's choice, versus spending all this money on legal fees. And obviously, that's not what Michael wants to do. At least Michael's not said that. And then Michael put out the subpoenas for the other folks. So I'm going to guess that this thing's going to keep going on. We're going to have to keep everybody updated.
Yeah, and it was interesting that, just for a second, Kellyanne Trades, we talked about her in their very first podcast episode, like the first week of January, just because she's got some stuff with Apex, and that's under pending litigation. And hang on, Joe. Well, dude, is that a comb you've had since your golden days?
No, this is.
What are you doing there?
It's not a comb from my golden days. This is Johnny Bravo's comb.
All right. I wasn't sure if you just had that as a souvenir. You're like, sometimes I wish.
Yes, I sit there with my bald head, and I just comb my bald head, and I imagine that I still have hair.
Yep.
Not everybody can have luscious locks like you, Robbie, okay?
All right. I apologize. Yeah,
Sorry, I
but anyway,
distracted
so
you.
Kellyanne's been named in the discovery too,
Mm.
and so like I wonder if there's more people besides the the big apex, or not the big apex, but the big trading props, and then like bigger fish like selling rips. Kellyanne is relatively a smaller influencer in the space, so
Hmm.
just interesting to see her listed up there in the discovery.
Yeah, the funded futures with Kellyanne is or futures trading with Kellyanne is, I believe, who we're talking to. We're talking about right here.
Yep.
Yeah, she said,
Yeah.
"Sorry guys, I had to delete my Apex day traders posts, lawyers and whatnot." So, and then she goes a lot about like futures trading and stuff like that. But
But you have that screenshot though, right? The one that replied to her deleted post
uh,
that has because that's juicy, man. It's talking about how Apex is they watch the video recordings of people's trades.
yes. So this is a reply, and I know this is probably small. So for the viewers at home, so this is John Skelton, the one of the I guess high-ranking people at Apex, if you will. Says
Yeah.
um
Hey, go ahead and zoom in on that anyway.
yeah.
Yeah. There we go. That's perfect.
So it says like, in the PA agreement, we can ask them for verification and require them to walk through their system, right? Talking about traders having to walk through the system of trades, right? I've been asked this question, I think as a blanket sort of thing now. Once you reach like a funded status, they ask you just for this, right? And so they're talking, right? And then Leo says, yeah, those guys that we've had there that make $1 million payouts and they're approved, have you asked for the videos? And John explains, we have those. We had 3 of them that got way up there with all this shit. And I've been through their trading. I had Chris, somebody else at Apex, go through their trading. Right. She looks like Shalon, go through all their trading. Like 3 different pairs of eyes. I've had conversations with them. I've gone over their trading strategy with them. I've gotten screenshots from them. I've gotten videos from them. I've got like fuck. Like I tried, dude. I tried to tear them apart and I couldn't. There was others we did, but those guys, I tried every way possible. It was all legit. So,
You know what I love best about that show
what's that?
is I tried to tear them apart and I couldn't.
Yes.
And so whoever those people were, I would love to know. Um, kudos to those people because those people were truly following a system that's repeatable and that was so ironclad that TopStep couldn't dissect it and nitpick and say, nah, we're gonna deny this payout because of this.
Yeah, exactly. And he goes on to say that too. Now, the other thing we need to do, well, everything I've seen was legit. Like I couldn't prove it through anything. So he couldn't prove. What he's saying is I could not prove that these guys, were just getting lucky or whatever. They had a very specific, system through video, through strategy, through charts, through questioning specific trades, like perfect answers for everything. Because I've learned that if I'm not given the right answer, it's always the same thing. Oh, I look at things like highs and lows. I look at volume. I look at news overall, and it's just kind of like the vagaries, right? But these guys, and like if you follow along with people in the trading space, like who I can't remember the guy, Jade Cap, the guy who beat Trader Kane. Like those two, Trader Kane had a $1.9 million singular payout on top of the other payouts for the max amount the whole way up. So he took well over 2 million from Apex. Jade Cap, even more than that, right? Those are the type of guys that, like, if you watch them talk about their trades, they have a very specific, this is what the structure I'm looking for. I mark like this 4-hour high. I'll wait for this. Then I'll enter here. Once it goes in my favor, then I'll move my stop, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Like, F off. Like, this is like legit, And they even say that. Ooh, geez. They even say, I only trade when the market gets to this, and then this indicator does this, and I look for this, and then I enter, and then every day off of, and so it's very, very descriptive. And I think that if any of the viewers can take away, if you really are striving to be a good trader, you can take anything away from this. It's if the biggest guys who are getting their payouts and they're not getting denied have a strong system like this, whether you're trading Apex, another firm, or your own capital. What do you need to do to have a system that's this strong? Because obviously it works if you find a winning system. So
And there's a lot of systems out there. Like there's not one for everybody. Some people are more comfortable being the reversal trader. Some people will only take like a break and retest type of trades. You know, like find what resonates with you, and then understand how you can truly make that repeatable for yourself.
exactly.
Yeah. All right, man. So now we got to really dig into Patrick Wieland here, because a few episodes back we were giving him beef for going short. He was fighting the trend, and we had just broken all-time highs, and he fought the trend going short like 84 cons, and we kind of roasted him on that. And here we are again. Here we are again, man, on Monday, all-time highs again on the NASDAQ, and he's going
Yeah, let's quickly look at the chart to give everybody a brief sort of structure update. So following some over the news weekend about trade with China, the market gaps up considerably and continues to move in a upward direction, right? Like you don't have to be some sort of trend line, guru here to just see the market is moving upwards, okay? And all-time highs, it is just grinding and melting upwards, right? And also, like to quote Trader Dante, he says too, like don't fade the drift, right? So when the market is just drifting, that's not just something you're trying to fade. Well, Patrick decides he's gonna fade the drift. He starts to get short here and proceeds to continue to enter in short all the way through up here until
2 hours.
For 2 hours, he's short. Yes. So I'm going to go to his 1 minute chart, which he's repeatedly sharing. This is where he first enters in short. Now, this is the 9 EMA. So you can see that it's, we're doing jump rope with it. We get under it. Huge pop over, drift back under. Again, we've popped over. So now, why, less than 10 minutes after we've reclaimed that 9 EMA, would you go short here when it looks like we are essentially basing on like this area?
Yeah.
Like you see how this was a failed lower high, and how do I know it's failed? Because look, we just broke over it. So now we're reclaiming that on a micro scale.
Yeah, sure.
So, but like if this was a daily chart, would you want to be short here?
No way.
No way.
And on top of that, like we know that Patrick says not to fight the trend. He always I shouldn't say always, but he is on record, especially with the whole BDH competition, where he was roasting that ICT trader and that other gal. They were both going short and the market was going long, and he's like, dude, guys, you don't fight the trend, this and that. So it's like, why is he going against his own system with such massive size, if not to like rage bait? And dude, is this a predatory action where he's hoping that viewers will follow his trades in the below accounts? That's the part that kind of really bothers me about this. Like, I don't really have much against Patrick. I actually really don't. Like, I disagree with this type of trading, but he's shown other pretty decent trades in the past, and obviously he's done well on live accounts with Tradeovate and things like that. So like, it really rubs me the wrong way, the way he was deliberately acting like a fool, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I really hope that there was nobody trading him or shadowing him in this day, but it's hard to imagine that didn't happen. Like, he's got such a big viewership. Dude, plenty of people were bound to lose accounts on this day because of him.
For sure. Now, and I don't follow him and his trading system very regularly, right? I usually just like see the crazy screenshots. Like I did not watch his 4-hour stream. I skimmed through it to just find the trades as we were discussing it. But one of the things that's extremely popular right now within the social media aspect of the trading space is the 15-minute orb, right? So the first 15 minutes of trading. If I just mark out the 15-minute high and the 15-minute low, it's this. And so a lot of people are trading the 15-minute, high retest, which if anybody entered in here long, depending on where you put your stop, if you put your stop at the other end, you're still in, right? But, this is a very strong reclaim of that 15-minute orb high. It goes, breaks a new high of day, comes down and retests. Like, You can make a lot of arguments for why this was a fantastic. Oh, sorry, it's a terrible color. I don't know if this any better. But let me get rid of this box. So like this, if you just look at this leg that the market made, reclaiming and breaking it back outside of the orb, it comes back down, touches the orb high, essentially the 15-minute orb,
right?
Which is essentially your 30-minute orb. It touches that orb high, and you're in the golden zone of this leg, and it comes back down, and then it pushes back out. Like the concerning part of it, as we go through like where he entered and what he did, is where was he actually going to stop out when the account blew?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because he adds in time after time.
Yeah,
and by the time, well, like basically around 2 hours in, he was in 600 cons short.
Yeah, 600 cons, which we're assuming is 20 Apex accounts, right?
Yeah, when I first heard about this, somebody mentioned it in our chat room. He was only down, and I say only lightly, but he was only short 520 cons when it was first brought to my attention. And at the high, at least when I saw it, he was down 132. But you could see it was still a little bit higher than that. So probably down about 140 at worst. And yeah, like you said, when is he going to stop?
Right. So keep in mind, though, because we learned this from the last time we were talking about Patrick's trading, is that he got him across 20 Apex accounts, right? So when we say 600 contracts, it's really 30 contracts per, right? So 600 divided by 20 accounts is 30 contracts per, because the Tradeovate copier just loops you in so you see your total size and your total P&L. Whereas, like if you're copying on Ninja, when you have the leader account on, it just shows you that leader account, and then all the other accounts look exactly the same. So if you were short one contract and you're down 10 points, you're down $200, and then you're down $200 on all the accounts. So Tradeovate does it a little bit different. But this is insane, bro. Like if we go through like this is his day. He actually takes a questionable short, right? Because he's shorting the left side of the V, shorting into whatever this high is at 875. It rejects, and he has a really solid cover. Like, that was great. Obviously, it seems as if he was struggling with a bit of bias and wanted to only trade the short side of things, because there's that 1 minute explosive candle reclaiming what is the orb high here. And then he takes another short here, which again, questionable. He shorts at like 70 and he holds it for 3 points and then he bails.
But I will say, I like that a lot better than the other one, because at least he had like a mini lower high, like just on the small candle time frames, right? So if he's like, I don't think he necessarily risks like a candle by candle strategy, kind of like we do sometimes. But at least it wasn't an awful entry, like in comparison.
Yeah,
so at this point, he's on the right side of the entry.
I'm just not sure what sparked him to get out for only 3 points here, and then of course it did go against him a little bit, and then it went down, considerably. He was in at 73, it went down to about 52, 50, or 51. 20 points on NQ is reasonable. And if you just think about it in terms of if anybody was to enter here at 73 and they're risking the high at 92, you have 19 points risk, and that's about 1-to-1 is how that played out.
Yeah.
But then he re-enters short here at 77, and then proceeds to just continue adding at various points. I mean, some of these ads are halfway decent, right? It broke the high of day, but then it comes back down. And you can see this is...
I didn't see, though, like on that middle one right there, with the really tall wick to the right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one, like, did he short as it was coming down or as it's popping up? But, when I saw this, it kind of made me wonder, like, who did it better, Patrick Wieland or Tory Trades? At the fight of the bag holders.
That's what we need to do, bro. We need to have the celebrity death match of the bag holders here. I think Tory Trades did it better because she had to hold that sucker days, and Patrick he suffered through it for only about 2 hours. Ultimately, and this is another crazy one too, is that ultimately, he averaged in, it goes back down close to, or just under his break even. So he actually hits green again, comes back up. he adds lower than these ads. And then he adds here again at basically the same level. Like, I don't understand that. Like, you wanted to keep adding, and then you see that we're starting to reclaim this 2-minute 9. Like, why would you add up here? You know, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
So
think
I
there's a
I
lot
got
here.
some quotes for you, Joe.
Yeah.
All right. I'm risking 20 points here to make $1 million. Shut up. I'm crashing out because I'm going to get more views today. You think I'm rage baiting? I'm rage baiting you, dumbass. That's Patrick Wieland on this day.
Oof.
And yeah, like I know that when you're a personality online, that doesn't necessarily reflect you as the person, okay? But I kind of have to wonder when you're trading and this isn't the same as acting for a movie or a show. This is him every day, 4 to 6 hours in front of people on YouTube. I think, from a personality or persona to personality like ratio, I want to say it's like 80-20 personality, 20% persona. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is a lot of this is it seems to really be going to his head.
Yeah, but so one more perspective, like, and I will give a little bit of credit here, even though I still don't agree with the trade. He says he's risking 20 points. So yeah, the number we're focusing on is the size, which is awful. But if this was really just, a couple of contracts here, or like maybe say this was 10 micros spread across, the 2 hours, then really the risk isn't that bad. If really he was only going to risk 20 points.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
But
But he doesn't
right,
just risk 20 points.
exactly. So right. So he changed his story after the fact. This when he was saying I'm only risking 20 points. This was already after he was in 500 deep. So yeah.
I mean, so he's in. He ends up with an average of 903, and the market peaks at 918. So I mean, okay. But the thing is, he ends up with this average at 903. He covers for less than 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
And thankfully he did, right? And granted, I know I have a lot of lines here on this chart, right? So I'm going to clean this up for you all. But he covers like right here at the top of this peak area, which I don't know. It seems just seems arbitrary at this point, like why he covered there. You know?
Sure. Like on a higher time frame, I think we could probably draw something more notable there as a pivot to base off of, and then
There's nothing to the left. It's all-time highs.
No, like on a bigger time, like a 5 or 10 minute chart,
Okay.
and seeing some stronger bodies or some wicks up there, and then when he exited, maybe on a smaller time frame candle flip, we could have seen that as confirmation to take a larger position trade for the long up, trade, at least targeting high of day or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. It did. He exited in what was this demand here that brought you to new high. It sort of melts over, comes back down, retests that same buyer's bid, if you will. The buyers are still sitting there in the high, the 890s, 25 890s, and they push it up all the way through.
Yeah.
And that's just painfully long. And then from there, it tries to push down, and then you get this massive power hour rally all the way through to the close. So,
and Joe, we were talking about this before we started recording, but you think these were funded accounts?
Yeah, I do. But I do think they were funded accounts. The reason I think that they were funded accounts is because even though he had some profit, at a certain point, especially if you're on the apex, let's just say it has to be the 300K accounts. Your max drawdown is $6,500. So he was up, and over like 5K, right, with the trades he covered and all that stuff. At its peak, right, when he's down over 132,000. I mean, because it goes even higher than that. It's probably down, even if we just go 135,000 divided by that 20 accounts, that's enough to blow the account. Like, again, because, and the reason I'm saying that is right here. See, he's down after he adds to it. He's down here. At this level, at 15 and a quarter, he's down 132,000. It goes up, the 2 points from there. He's just down, dude.
Yeah.
He's down bad. So these have to be funded accounts, which is wild, right? Because he's just repeatedly averaging down. He does. It's still less than 2-to-1 risk versus reward. What he was down versus what he closes out at, but. Bro, this is a bad idea. I feel as if he's just setting himself up for an Apex payout denial, and maybe they don't deny his payouts because he's an affiliate or whatever, and it would look bad. But maybe they do, or I don't know. He's got some sort of special arrangement. I don't know. I don't really care. I guess I kind of do care because, I would be shitty, but.
Right. Well, so what do we know about trades that are against your system that work out because you get lucky? In my opinion, he got lucky on this trade.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. And usually when you're trading against your system, you get lucky. It's a spike of dopamine for the wrong reason.
Right.
That tends to lead you to do the wrong things in the future. And what do you know? He posts a massive loss on Friday.
He sure does, dude. He sure does. Where was that? This one here. These Apex accounts? Yeah.
Full transparency. He blew a lot of accounts. His screen's not big enough to show them all.
Yeah.
And these are all evals. Otherwise, we'd say PA Apex in the front.
Yeah. Yep.
But that is a lot of accounts, man.
It is a lot of accounts. It is a lot of accounts. I would like to know the trades that he took, but I imagine that he probably just did something like that, and Friday was pretty volatile before it finally started to really trail off into the end of the day. And even then it popped back up to close the day out, I believe. It did. So it trailed off until about a little after 1 o'clock. Yeah. Yeah.
So why don't we show what a real short trade looks like?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So this guy I know, who has significantly less hair than Johnny Bravo, took this short right here on Friday. So
I love this trade, dude. This matches all of my normal criteria. Strong close through a chop zone, and you shorted the pullback into it.
Yeah, absolutely. So
that was so clean. You practically top ticked it by maybe a couple of points. You were red.
Yeah.
Unless you bought it unless you sold as it was coming down, but you had almost zero risk on this trade.
Yeah, I think that it was probably 2 points.
You did your job scaling where you normally do, and then you held the runner, for your target.
Yep.
So clean.
Yep. This is the 2-minute chart, by the way. So 2 minute breaks back down, pulls back, 2 minute 20 VWAP and EMA interaction. I mostly was just worried about the 20 EMA, to be honest. And then it trailed, and actually it came back down, and I did get a little lucky though, right? Because as I see, I used to move the stop down as it was going. The one thing I want to say here with this is that risk reward evolves in the trade. If I'm more than halfway to my target and I leave my stop up here, I'm now risking way more than I'm targeting, and I just don't agree with that personally. So when this started to really fall, I was going to be happy getting 20 points, trying for more, knowing that I already got 15. So I was happy with getting 15 and 20 and trying to get the 60, because this was a 60-point drop. And then if we actually go to the live chart, I'll go to that 2-minute chart when it happened. It was is it? No. Was that a 1-minute chart?
I don't know. But here's what I'll say about your luck is that the difference between getting lucky on a winning trade when it's within your system versus getting lucky on a winning trade when it's not within your system, it's like night and day. It's better to get lucky when you're trading within your system, because at least what you did was repeatable.
Yes.
And if you made more than you normally do, then that's just great, because at least you executed with your normal strategy. You took the entry where you did, and then you scaled already one, and you were trailing. So whether or not it hit your target profit, within a couple of candles, or say an hour, if it's within a couple of candles, then that's lucky, because it just, you got profit so quickly, and you got a really just fast payout on that. But in Patrick's case, he was short for 2 hours. He got lucky. Yes, it was 100K profit, but it was against his strategy, against his system,
Exactly.
from what we know of it.
Exactly. And so
And
that's the big difference there with this is like you had a previous day high rejection. We broke down on a previous day high, double topped that previous day high, which is this red line. It makes a move down through VWAP. I sell the retest. I sell the retest of both VWAP and that 2-minute 20 EMA. And then,
yeah.
like, I mean,
And if we're drawing fibs, I actually, before that sell, like it was, as it was approaching that red line, I had already drawn a fib and shared it in the chat from high to low.
yep.
And it was right in the golden zone.
Yep. And the reason that I would draw it from there too is that this was one big trended move all the way down before it bounced back. So there you go. You can see it's in the golden zone. There was a lot of factors here, a lot of factors in play as to like why this would be a great short. And it was, and it just paid. It played out and paid very quick. And then this was like a China tariff news thing.
Yeah, this is a Trump saying that their conversation went well or something.
Yeah.
And that was also like really lucky that you had already taken profit, because had you not, like, let's say your profit was just a couple of ticks before the last red candle, like just under it,
Mm-hmm.
and then that news came and you had a trailing stop loss, like, I don't know, 30 points in profit or something, because of how fast that move up was, it really could have blown through your stop loss, and maybe even you had a break even trade, or maybe even red. Because with those extreme volatile moves,
yeah,
it's hard to get those fills.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone red on the trade. It would have been shitty though, because at least it only goes like 5 points above my entry, and I did get 10 points in. But dude, I mean that would have been terrible to be like, hey, I shorted right here, I profited 15 points, I had a trail stop, my trail stop gets blown through, they fill me literally at the top or some crap, and then so I end up with only getting 10 points of profit after I was basically in profit 15 plus like 50, being like, that would have been shit. And I don't think that would have happened just because, there were orders all the way through here when you look at the 1 second chart, but it was just jumping. But I think the point is like, that's like a unlucky what if scenario. The point is that this was by far one of the best trades that I've had in terms of the way it actually played out. However, systematically, this fits in a lot with what I've been doing with like buying or selling a retest and taking profit relatively quickly and trailing the runner. Like, it's systematic. Did it. Now, I say this is one of the best trades, and probably maybe even the best trade of the month, in terms of this only went about 2.5 or 2 points against me at most. I don't even remember because it was so quick. And I was all out in profit 2, 4, 6, 8 minutes, within 8 minutes. So within 8 minutes, I collected $1,500 from NQ. That's pretty insane. I didn't know it was going to play out like that.
Yeah, of course. And that's why you did your job by scaling that first position, before the pivot, and at your typical consistent, it was 15 points, right?
Right. And this candle that occurred here could just as easily have occurred earlier, or there could have just been another pop or something to take me out. And that's happened so many times over the last month too. I scale for 15, I move to break even, I get stopped. Okay, well, I got my 15. That's the system, and base hit, and we go again.
Yeah, good job, man. That was such a clean trade.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, man.
Well, what do you say we wrap it up?
Hell yeah. This is Johnny Bravo.
Sounds good, guys. We appreciate you guys. I'll catch you on the next one. If you're looking for a new account to trade, we got some promo links in the comments below, and we'll catch you later. Trade safe.
See you later, everybody.